Hi folks, this is Didier from Piccio. We're Wednesday and I'm in Boston where it's actually completely overcast and extremely windy. I'm leaving Saturday for Japan for a week with our friends at Plug and Play where we are having our first week of the badge, the FinTech badge, and we'll narrow down the use case that we present to one or two with partnership with Mitsubishi Bank, with Fujitsu, and most likely with Nissan as well. So we'll try to focus on one or the two. We're presenting a use case for a credit card and reward points, of course, or KYC use case, and also one for mortgage and land attribution and deed, etc. So pretty excited to go back there. I will be joined by Eric, and Eric will stay the 3 months of the program there, and I will go back and forth depending the development and the meeting. I'm also going to meet with a few other companies that I met initially, KDDI and Line, that I met in Korea, but this time we'll try to set up a meeting with them in Japan itself. So it was a busy week last week with distribution, a little bit more rock and roll than what I was expecting, and sorry about that. We were not expecting the Neo network to have timeouts the way it was. It definitely surprised us, and of course penalized the distribution flow. We could probably have done things a little bit better, maybe including something like an airdrop function in the smart contract. We could also have used several distribution address or even set up our own Neo node with the API, so we would have had better management of the timeout. But anyway, we didn't because we really didn't think it was necessary initially, and so hopefully everybody's got 8 SPKCs now, which was again a good opportunity for me to thank you for your support. As you've seen, we listed on now on Switch.io, and more on that later on. Now we deliver on our roadmap, so testnet is already in beta, and the mainnet should arrive anytime soon. We'll update this roadmap, I think, by the end of this week publicly. Besides that, we've been pretty busy, and that's what kept me also very busy at the beginning of this week and end of last week. We had a call for proposal from 3 large company or agencies, one in Dubai, which is the housing agency in Dubai, where we are going to demonstrate, present our demo next week. Then we had Visa, the credit card company. The unit that's covering all the Middle East is running a workshop for digital ID, and they asked us to present our solution there. And then Etisalat, which is a very large telco company in Middle East and Africa. Same thing here. Send us the code of order, and it takes a lot of time to fill in all the forms, etc. But these are 3 great opportunities that we will pursue. Also, I spent the beginning of the week with Christine here in Boston, where we had the Healthcare Blockchain Summit. That's the 2nd edition. They had one last year. It was pretty well attended, probably around 100 to 120 people. Great lineup, very interesting for us to kind of learn in the healthcare industry how it is, how is blockchain understood, perceived, and which were the pain points that were expressed by the different attendees during these 2 days, intense 2-day session. Healthcare, it's normal. So one of the main areas is data management, which is right in the alley of Piccio, and of course how to use blockchain and artificial intelligence, which is right in our alley as well. Now, what was very interesting is that almost all of the participants, especially the ones who already test something, say 2 main things. First of all, that The the open blockchain like Ethereum, etc., were good to develop some pilots and test some ideas, etc. But when you want to enter into real deployment and not just production, but deploy it in the real life, you have to go for a permission-based blockchain, which is exactly what we are. And the second thing, more interesting, is that whenever you want to establish anything related to patients this time, not just back office operation between providers and insurance, etc., but really in front, you have to have a solution of identification, and they don't. As you might not know, but there is no patient ID here in the US. So it makes things extremely complex and extremely costly, and definitely not efficient for everybody, insurance providers, meaning medical um, doctors, etc., to just to identify you and then connect your medical records, etc. So right for us, permission based with a very strong identification process to onboard and the concept of wallet. So this is where we're gonna, of course, try to dig deeper. For us, I had very good meeting with several people, and but the most advanced in pilot, if you want to, or experience or experiment with blockchain so far. And we had a very good discussion with Duke University, which is piloting a kind of a patient wallet. And as you know, Duke is a very, very important university in the US. So we'll talk about that later on. And then Partners in Health. Partners in Health is not just a little bit in the US, but it's mainly in a lot of countries where the infrastructure is completely disrupted. So a little bit like Doctor Without Borders, but they stay there. Doctor Without Borders go for emergency. Partners in Health is another kind of initiative, which is now in 10, 12 countries, I think. And they stay there, they rebuild with governments, hospital or medical center, etc. And they face the same issues that I already noticed when I was in Haiti after the earthquake, is that there is no medical records are very hard to find, and no patient ID, etc. So when you come and do emergency work, that's fine. But when you want to do things in a longer range, you need to come up with the infrastructure. So we propose to partners, and we'll have a meeting when I come back from Japan with the CEO. We propose to partners to offer the PikcioChain as an infrastructure for the whole operation across different countries, which will allow them to not just treat locally, but also have a way to collect data in an anonymous way to build use case, etc., etc. So they were very excited. We would be very excited to do that. I think it's a organization that I really respect a lot, and that would mean a lot for us as well to do that. What else? So as I said, I'm going to Japan. Gonzague and Urs are in just coming back from Dublin. I'm sorry, and they're moving to London. I think this coming weekend or Monday. Um, the the team is growing. We're probably now around 35, almost 40. It would be good at one point to let you know who came on board and what they're doing, etc. So I'll try to fit that in one of these updates pretty soon. That's it. Thank you very much, and talk to